Momentum is still chugging along. And it's all about tomorrow. All right, guys, remind me, what's tomorrow? Not you, Mo. Somebody else, remind me. What is tomorrow without looking it up? Why is tomorrow significant for traders? Why is tomorrow significant for traders? Mo, I know you've been in class, and there's the one person that's always answering the question, and everyone else in the class loves that person. Like, thank God they're answering all these questions because I ain't trying to figure this out. But then it creates a bunch of lazy students, including myself. I was in the back. I'm like, I know nothing about what's going on right here because of that one kid. Shout out to him. So we got FOMC news tomorrow. Exactly. We have another rate decision from the Fed, and this is going to be the deciding factor about the future of monetary policy for the next month or potentially 2 months. Why is that important? Because currencies all follow central bank policy. Central banks decide the monetary policy of the country. So if we want to figure out what the dollar's doing, and if we want to figure out how that's going to affect NASDAQ, it's going to come from Jerome Powell's decision. Now, we kind of looked at the expectations. There's no rate hikes expected on the radar. So we all know this. There's no rate hikes. If Jerome Powell comes out with a surprise rate hike, markets are going to crash. If he comes out with a rate cut, the markets are going to absolutely boom. And if it's anything in between, I think the markets will go bullish just off of the relief. All right, so good morning, everybody. Welcome. We're at the New York market open. So what I'm waiting for is a slight break below the 88.6. I'm going to take a trade. I'm actually going to take an entry now, and I'm going to split up my order. I'm going to do half now, and then if it breaks and comes back up, I'll put the other half on the retest. I'm going to enter a long position at the market open and expect some drawdown. If you guys want to wait just a little bit, wait for price to potentially break through and then come back up. And you could potentially stack orders at the bottom or wait for the market to recover above 15.17. All right, so it is the market open. Might have to give it just a minute or two and see if we can get the best entry possible, which is coming up here pretty soon. So here's what I'm going to do. Oh, wait, I'll put this off right here. Get this. Okay, hide floating meeting controls. That's gone. Okay, there we go. You guys can see both screens. So we have the MT4 here on the right. All right, so I'm going to enter half my position here. Actually, let's do 20. And the stops are going to be 40 points below the current entry price. So for me, it's 155. 40 points would be 115. Okay. So that's the first trade. That's the market open trade. If you guys are showing up, if you guys are just kind of getting on the stream, good to have you guys back. There's 2 trades that I'm watching. I have multiple entries here. 1571 is my market open trade. It's going to be a scalp position. This is not a swing trade. This might be an intraday trade, but probably not. What I'm looking for is a scalp back up to 224. And then I think we're going to have a real entry of the day here at 15,110. So I just entered half of my position. If the market breaks above and then retests the 886, I'll enter the other half. More than likely, we're going to get this. And then the market's going to come down and give us the second entry. So I think we can make money both ways. We're going to make money on the first trade. And then once the market comes down, we can make money on the second trade. And this one is a much more, like it's a much bigger move, much bigger potential. And so that's really what I'm looking for. Yeah, I had a great entry yesterday. I had an entry right here at 190, right? As soon as we broke back above the daily lows. This is Sunday. Yesterday, we broke through the lows and grabbed all the liquidity and then came back up. I entered as soon as the market closed above that zone. Caught the whole trade on the way up. And then today, we're basically just looking for a pullback of that same low. That's a scalp trade at the market open. Very well could break down lower. And so just keep that in mind. We have a good like 40 to 50 pip range here, or sorry, 170 to 100. Let's call it a 70-point range here of buying potential. So as it gets lower, there's just a better and better opportunity to go long. And the problem is that most traders typically go short as the market is crashing. And that's how you get burned at the market open. It's how you get burned on indices in general. So don't be that person. Do not chase the markets. And yeah, momentum traders get burned. Momentum traders get burned more often than anybody else. I don't get it. Why? Why do you insist on momentum trading? All right, so we're 5 minutes after the market open. We had a nice liquidity grab through and then close back above. And then this nice bullish engulfing candle is starting to come up. So far, so good. Again, scalp trade. So as soon as we break above this first level, I'm going to protect this trade and just take it one level at a time. My first take profit is the 61, which is 208. Which for us here would be about 180 on the FTMO. All right, so one rule, not rule, but like let's do one thing on these streams that if you end up taking any trade that I also take, just shout out your entry. Just let me see the entries just so I have an idea of where a lot of people are in at. And if you're not in, just give me a takeaway or something that you're learning from the stream at least. Also, let me know who thinks it's going to break through and who thinks it's, we're going to see the rejection. Put a 1 if you think that we're going to see the rejection. Put a 2 if you think that it's going to fill and break through. Let me see 1 if you think it's going to reject, 2 if you think it's going to fill and break through. Let's get a poll here real quick. Damn, Mo got 149. But you know what pisses me off when people get better entries? Bobby got 140. Bro. Romy got 157. Good work. Max 155. Yes. Sirski. Desi says 148. 10 points from the wick. Awesome stuff. Okay. Sam says 153. Sheesh. Got some great entries in here. All right, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please drop a like real quick. It really helps us out, and appreciate you guys hopping on. Stay focused on the charts tomorrow, FOMC. So the goal is do not burn your chips before FOMC. Don't sit there and try to force trades during the news. Right now, it's just kind of like, okay, we're going to catch a scalp or we're going to catch the second trade. When we make money, that's just going to be like capital I can use for tomorrow's trades. If I make $1,000, if I make $1,500, I'm like, all right, that's what I have to risk for tomorrow. If I lose money, it cannot be something significant. It's got to be just a trade, 0.25% risk, 0.5% risk, depending on your plan. And yeah, if that doesn't work out, just keep it moving. So market open, it's literally just less than 10 minutes after the market open, seeing a ton of whipsaws. Just got to hang out here and be patient. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. If you guys want to know about industry stuff, I'm not trying to go through gossip, but there is a lot of news going around. So if that's something you guys are interested in, ask away. If there's something about the economy you guys want to know, ask away. Something about mindset, trading. Heads up, we have a boot camp October 1st to the 3rd, where we're going to be teaching a lot of things about market open strategies, how to day trade NASDAQ, how to swing trade NASDAQ. So if you're interested, make sure to click on the link at the bottom of the description on YouTube if that's you. And we'll see you guys there. The deadline is in 4 days. Just a heads up. Deadline is in 4 days to register. October 1st to the 3rd, 3-day NASDAQ masterclass. Sky Blue says, "Roy the GOAT back on YouTube." Yes, you already know we're back. Good morning. So late. No, we're hanging out. What do you think about Euro USD right now? Good take. Yeah, Euro USD. Actually, let me go through those pairs before we really get into it. So can't talk about Euro USD without looking at the dollar. Dollar, very bullish. I got that super secret magnet indicator sitting right here at 107.5, but we're coming up pretty close to the highs here. All right, so I've been waiting for the dollar to pull back before it continues, and the pullback could come at any minute. So I don't really want to be the one to start guessing the reversal on the dollar. Not reversal, but like that retracement. If we're going to see the retracement, I think that we'll see a double top and a push back in. So personally, I want to see the dollar retrace before we continue, but you know, there's no guarantee of that. It could just break through the highs. What I'm looking at for Euro USD is obviously the opposite. So while the dollar is very high, Euro USD is very low. We're coming up, we're right here at these weekly, this weekly support. And even though the body of the candle closed under that support, like under this area here, you see the body closed under, wick, and this thing is holding. So to get the best confirmation for this trade, I want to see the market clearly break above this whole area of support, specifically the body of these candles on the daily. And as soon as we break above, I want to look for a pullback and just trade that pullback all the way up for the retracement. Make sense? So right now for Euro USD, it's a bit of a waiting moment because it could continue to just break down. And so I'm being patient with this one. Long term, very bearish on Euro USD. For right now, I'm looking for those buys up. Why is there so much stuff here? All right, gold. All right, so I mean, obviously this is not Narnia, and so we're not going to get like a dream scenario. The dream scenario would be a pullback to exactly 1923.5. This would be the ideal pullback, 1923.5 and continuation. But I think this is gonna be like a bit of a smaller time frame play. So if these are the lows, we had an impulse. I think the market could come back for a double bottom retracement and just continue. And so we might just hold a floor right here. Personally, I always want to buy low. Okay, so I don't want to buy the retest here. I want to buy this or this. So 1925 or 1923. I would much rather wait for the market to pull back to those levels before I continue going long. Might be this session, might be the next session, but I think it's worth the wait. Some of you gold traders might have a different idea. Let me know in the chat if you're a chart addict. If price closes above 194 in Oanda, I think it can reject and go bullish. We're talking about NAS here. Is it above 194? I would say 200.
So, hi, ma'am, are you still with me?
211, I think, would be optimal. Because if we get caught right here, then the market's going to go down for one more dip. If we can break above the 61, then we'll just wait for another pullback of the 886, and then we'll just keep playing in this box for the whole session. And we'll just buy at the bottom of the daily ranges and sell at the top. Isn't that crazy? Bro, please, for the love of God, I need caffeine. This is nuts. If somebody's in the North Miami area and wants to drop off some caffeine, I would be greatly appreciative. Said, I'm so excited for the boot camp. NPL, I'm gonna see you there. Roy, what's your take on trusting prop firms now? Well, I'm still using FTMO. And so for now, that's the one I'm using. I just don't know what to tell you guys. How would market react to a hawkish pause? There is no, what do you mean by hawkish pause? So like a pause in rate hikes as expected, but with a hawkish tone? Wouldn't you consider the body a break for that daily candle to continue for Euro USD downtrend? AJ Young model, the answer is yes, you're right. But until I see it break below that wick, then I'm, that's my final line of defense. Mostly because I trade NASDAQ, and NASDAQ doesn't really follow the fill of the wick idea, where as long as it creates a higher low on NAS, there's a good chance it's going to push up. Now, fills of the wick indicate a continuation. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it on the NASDAQ bootcamp. Or do you follow structure, which makes you not continue downtrend? I'm still bearish on NASDAQ, or I'm sorry, I'm still bearish on Euro USD, but everything has to retrace. Lufe says, pull up to Italy, my bro. We're doing a world tour going into I'm going to go to starting in Dubai late October. So I think we're going to start the world tour officially sometime November or December, probably December. So shout out whatever country you guys want us to visit, and then whatever city in that country you guys want us to visit, and we'll mark it off for sure. He said, I got you some coffee, send me your address. My dude. I appreciate you, Gabe. You're a real one. My bad. I'm sending out this link real quick. All right, everybody. So yeah, for the prop firm space, everyone keeps talking about the prop wars and how it's just going to become like a massive competition. It's always been a massive competition. And I think that the prop wars is going to do more damage than good. Now we as the consumers get to be beneficiaries of this, because how do these prop firms compete? Right? Like, I'll show you, I'm going to make mine cheaper. I'll show you, I'm going to take off time limits. Right? I'll show you no more minimum trading days, no more 8% target instead of 10%. And we're just over here as the traders like, okay, you guys should beef more often. This is incredible. My two favorite stores should go head to head all the time, because if this is the outcome, we win. Now, the downside of the prop firm wars is that some of these firms will not make it. So you go through all that trouble, they're offering great deals, you buy a challenge for a great price, and then all of a sudden the firm is no longer there. Like my Forex funds, or like the other one that went under last year from my funded, Forex fund, all of them, all 50 versions of the Forex funded Forex prop firm game. So the CFTC is going to crack down on this. I don't think it's going to be as big as people think. There is no prop firm getting, but I think that the licensing and the security is going to become so expensive for these prop firms that a lot of them are just going to get driven out of business. And as soon as you're driven out of business, only the biggest names will survive because they have the cash flow for it. They have the war chest for it. And it just is what it is. Gosh, this is a slow market open. This is a really slow market open. Building permits. What is happening? What's happening? There's no news. There's nothing. Markets are just going to be chilling, which is probably even a better reason to be taking this trade. Because if we're just going to be playing around in a range because of low volume or just because of everybody being patient for tomorrow, then buying at the lows of the range and then shorting at the highs, this is going to be the way to go. Now, for those of you guys that showed up a bit late, I already have an entry in at 170. I put half my entry in. And then if the market continues to the downside, let me clean this up. If the market continues to the downside down to 15,100 or 15,110, then I'm going to take a long position down here as well. I guess that's the phrase. To be careful what you wish for. You wanted a fast market open. I said, wait. No, I meant fast, but in the other way, the other direction, not this one. All jokes. Sky Blue says, my frozen funds? Ouch. Shit, bro. That's crazy. My frozen funds is crazy. All right, for those of you guys that don't know how I trade, usually I send out the link around 10 a.m. and then I'll spend about an hour on the screen just basically waiting for the trade to play out. So we got in a little early today, right at the market open. And yeah, and now we're going to be basically just watching grass grow for the next hour. Will I be on live for the whole hour? I don't know. Without this caffeine, is looking a little tough. All right. Not saying I can't do it. I'm going to show you guys what I'm a fucking beast. Excuse my language. We just got demonetized again. I'm going to show you guys I'm a beast. No, fuck it. I already cursed. I'm going to say I'm a fucking beast, right? No caffeine. I'm out here. I'm still trading. If I don't catch this trade, I'm going to catch the next one. I got this shit like the back of my hand. Perfect. But with some caffeine, people, this might be a completely different ball game. This might be a completely different ball game. How do I enter the market? Click, right? Lot size calculator. How many pips? How many lots? Okay, boom. I'm risking this many dollars. I'm cool with that. I'm risking this percentage of my account. That's the standard based on my trading plan. Okay, boom. Take the trade. No regrets, no fear, no, but what if it doesn't? And what if it does? The trade might lose, people. Big surprise. I don't have the highest win rate strategy. If I did, I would probably trade 4 or 5 times a month, which is awesome. But then I can't do things like this incredible live stream. So for me, I'm looking for, like, I know what I'm risking. I know my strategy and I know my risk and reward. If I lose one trade, it only takes one trade to make it all back. If I lose 2, 3 trades in a row, fine. One trade will make it back. And so that's how I execute, is a very, very, very clear understanding of my trading system. And I know that if my trading system is 70% win rate, that means for every 100 trades that I take, 70 will be winners and 30 will be losers. So sometimes you'll get the losers back to back. This is why risk management is so important. Losses and wins come in clusters. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But when you win, it tends to come in streaks, and we start to feel like we're on a hot streak. Oh my God, bro, 3 trades in a row, 4 trades in a row. I figured it out. And then we end up giving the money back. The other side is the losing streak. You go on a losing streak, you're like, oh, I lost it. I lost the thing. You know, I don't see the markets the same anymore. And all of that happens because of over leverage. If you're in too big, and I don't mean over leverage like what the account can handle, what you can handle. So some people are over leveraged and they're like, every loss just feels significant. No individual, write this shit down, because I feel like this is something every trader still gets wrong. Let me see how many people we got on here. Make sure you guys note this down. No individual trade should have a significant impact on your profit and loss. I didn't say it shouldn't have an impact, right? I'm not telling you to take trades that don't do anything for your account. I'm saying no win or no loss should ever have a significant impact, where you lose a trade and you're like, how could this have happened? And such a big chunk of my account is gone. And now you're stuck in this cycle of making bad decisions to make it back. That's the most avoidable thing. Y'all got me? And on the winning side, somebody over leverages and then by luck, they win the trade. And now they start to attribute that to their own success. Over leverage is the killer. So no individual trade should have a significant impact, but it's just 1 to 3 ratios, 1 to 2 ratios consistently. You're risking 0.25% to make 0.5%. You're risking 0.5% to make a whole percent. And thus is the name of the game. Damn, Q own, what the, yo, bro, why are you trying to get me in trouble? These people are crazy. Do you have one-on-ones who, people who struggle with trading, but yet know everything, who don't know why they failed? The answer is yes. I have an advanced coaching program, which essentially just looks at your own strategy, looks at your results and your data, and we just try our best to figure out what is happening in this pattern. For me, I realized I thought it was the losses. I used to think like, oh my God, I took a loss, and like that's the reason why I'm not making money at the end of the month. But when I actually sat down and did the numbers side by side, I realized it was the over leveraging that was hurting my account way more than the losing. Losing is part of the game. Right now, I'm in some drawdown. All right. I'm perfectly fine with that, because the next trade I take is going to make up for it. That's okay. Now, if I was over leveraged, I guarantee you I would have a different energy. You guys can go back to some of my older streams where I was over leveraged. I'm just over here real quiet. I'm over here not saying anything. I can't even make the right decision because I'm just led by fear. When you have a strategy, you're not really led by fear. So in terms of the coaching, yes, we look at your strategy, we look at the data, and we figure out how to optimize. Meaning what in your, whether it's the execution, whether it's the risk and reward, whether it's, the only way to do that is to look at all your trades. Look at the last 50 trades you took and figure out the pattern. Entering too early, holding too long, closing too early, taking partials too soon, always moving to break even too early and it hits and goes your way. One of those things is crushing your account, and a bunch of the other ones are helping you. And if you don't know which ones are helping, which ones are hurting, you're going to end up removing the stuff that's working for you and keeping the stuff that's not working. So you give a clear perspective. Yes, clarity is everything in trading. Right, everybody, I get it. Right, I get it. So bearish, we're filling this low. We're starting to kind of push below it. I get it. People ask me why I'm going long, because I like to buy low, people. And I understand how the candles look, and I'm very, very aware that this thing may push a little bit lower. I get it. But this is why I entered. We have this low get formed. And now the only reason that this is not like the highest probability trade is because even with this bullish push, We never had a break or closure above the previous highs. We never really established that bullish momentum that we needed. So for a swing trade, this thing is just not that attractive. But then when I saw the rejection yesterday for the higher floor, I was like, okay, this is a good chance that we can potentially at least push back to these highs before we short again. And so on today's market open, I waited for a pullback kind of close to the double bottoms and I entered a long position. Market clearly has other plans, and everything that I see during news weeks is setting up for the FOMC meeting. So right now, if the market is what I would consider not crashing, but if the market is going bearish, I think it's enticing a lot of people to go onto the short side. And that means we might see the opposite tomorrow. So that's why we do proper risk management. I split up my entry and I have a second option right here at 107. Price is about 9 points away from my stop loss. So I'm risking just lost it, but just lost slightly under 0.5% on that trade. I don't usually trade the market open. To be completely honest, that was on me. We got a nice rejection from 203 up to 253. And I think it should have just closed right there. Actually, it was right here. It was from 137 up to 180. Should have just closed right there. So market open trades should have been quicker on the scalp. All good though. Now I'm going to let the market, what I call reset, give it probably 15 to 30 minutes and just allow the market to hit a floor. And then we could potentially catch a retracement back up. Now, it's never fun losing a trade, people. But again, if any trade has a significant impact on your profit and loss, it's a sizing issue. Now, if you want to look for a very high win rate strategy, the day trading is not for you. Like, you wouldn't be taking these type trades. You would not be on the 1 hour time frame, and you would just be looking for swing positions. But for my scalpers and for my day traders, get very, very clear about your risk management, because win rate might not be it. Risk and reward is definitely going to be there. And it will make up for it. I made about 4,500 yesterday. So right now I just lost about $800, which is fine. Not fine. I mean, yeah, no, it's fine. And then there's a big difference. Like, imagine you guys made $400, but you just lost 80. Or imagine you made like 40 grand and you're like, well, no, that sounds a little bit worse. Let's go $40 and then you lost $8 or 480. It's the way it works. So the next trade I take, I'm looking for $200 or $300. So if I lose the 80, that's fine. You guys get how that works? Look, market's very bearish, but I want to take the scalp again because I feel like there's going to be a clear rejection here at 107.4. But I know, I know what a lot of people are going to say, which is market's clearly bearish, and so just wait for the retest to short. But I'm a scalper. I'm just trying to be in and out. I'm trying to catch this retracement back up and just be out. I'm going to take the scalp. Do not take this trade. Well, I mean, I can't tell you guys what to do. It's not financial advice. Do whatever you guys want to do. Personally, I'm going to catch a scalp back up at that zone. I don't usually set a hard TP, but I'm going to set a hard TP here at 165. Stop loss needs slightly more room at 7. So I entered at 97. Okay, 25-point risk. in about 90, no, about 60 point TP. A little bit over 2-1. Yeah, so I can't tell you guys what to do, but this is not the high probability trade. Wait for the next one. I'm taking this because this is part of my strategy, which is when it hits my daily levels and it gets there, I have a better chance of getting a rejection than not. And so when it gets there, I take the trade and I don't try to play God and be like, oh, no, this one's definitely going to break through. I follow my strategy. Whatever your strategy is, this is how you have to follow it, right? If it's a swing trading strategy, you have to enter without any sense of like worry or like what if it does and what if it doesn't this time. If it hits a daily 88.6 and it rejects 95% of the time, then 95% of the time you're going to get a rejection. Okay. And so if the 5% of the time you don't get a rejection, that doesn't mean start crying about it. Okay. It just means this is one of those times it didn't work out, and that's fine. Look at M1. Now, personally, I also don't like to lose 2 in a row. And so when this thing, if this thing pops up, I'm going to move my stops to break even and just protect the trade. That way, if it runs up to the target, perfect, I make my money back. If it doesn't and it wants to come slam back down, at least I don't lose 2 trades, right? I lost the first one. This one was protected with good risk management and trade management. And so at that point, no harm, no foul, move on for the day and just come back tomorrow for FOMC. So it's going to 7-11, 14, 7, 11. We'll see. Only one way to find out, right? So far, so good. Just need a little bit more volume in here. It's still early, 10:07. Still early in the day. All right. What other questions we got? Anything about news? Anything that's happening in the markets? Anything that's happening just not even trading related? Just any questions you guys have? Anything you guys saw on the news, watched? Anything that's got you guys' attention? I've been trying not to watch a lot of content, so maybe you guys can catch me up on what's happening. Anything happening in the world out there that I should know about? If it's finance related, I probably got my eye on it. If it's economy related, I probably got my eye on it. Give me some stuff that that I might be missing here. I'm gonna need you guys' help to kind of keep me in the loop. Best prop firm. I don't say about best, but FTMO has been doing me good for years. They've always paid out. I mean, sometimes they have like an outage here and there. Sometimes the payout is they're pretty spot on. I'd say FTMO is on the top of the list for me. Not to say I'm not trying other firms, right? I'm still trying Fortune's Funding. I tried the Funded Trader, not too keen on that. But really it's just FTMO at the top of the list. And with the prop firm war was happening, I would say don't put too much stake on any platform. Like if you have a payout and you're like, well, I'm just going to keep compounding this account. Ain't no compounding, man. Take your money, right? While it's still available. If the payout button is available, smash it. Don't sit here and try to, oh, I'm going to compound my account. That firm might not be here in 2 months. Do we know the exact dates for FX Summit Dubai? I want to buy my tickets. Yeah, right now they are really cheap. It's going to be mid-November 2024. I'm headed out to Dubai at the end of October to verify the final dates, but just expect give or take a few days. So it's like 14 months from now. So give or take a few days before or after the middle of November. But it's going to be the mid-November 2024 FX Summit Conference in Dubai. Tons of great speakers, some similar faces that spoke this year. We got Bob Elliott coming back. We have Pompliano coming back. Michaela, of course. The folks from Coinbase, the folks from CoinDesk, the folks from Tron, they're all going to come back. And so it's going to be an awesome event out there in Dubai. A lot more people interested from around the world. So it's going to be awesome. How do you make 100 to 7K on your YouTube videos, but your streams, you don't make this money so fast? How do you make 100 to 7K on your YouTube videos? I don't know what you mean by YouTube videos. I don't know, bro. Some of these questions, have you ever tried trading futures? I have not, but my friend Darren Creedy trying to tell me about futures. He's like, yo, why don't you trade futures, bro? Why don't you trade futures? So I'm going to have to check it out for sure. Right now, I like CFDs. It just makes my life so much easier. I take the trade. They pay out simulated profits, whatever that means. And yeah, that's how the game goes. I'm trying my best not to protect the trade too early, but I know if I do, I'm going to get hit and it's going to run in my direction. So I want to be a little bit more patient to see like one more push before I move my stops to break even and before I protect that trade. Just so you guys know what's going through my mind, just decision-making wise, the market could come back for a double bottom before it pushes up. And so that's still an option. If it breaks below that low at 1590, then I'm just going to close the trade. Okay, so a big issue I used to have is closing the trades prematurely just off of like a retest or just it's not moving fast enough or whatever it is. And then I would realize it would just run in my direction right after. And so now I kind of have these rules, which is all based around structure. And if it's a scalp, it's going to be smaller time frame structure, of course, which is as long as it holds that previous low or closes above the previous low, technically the trade is still valid. And so that's kind of what I'm watching for here. I just want to see one more push up, and I'm going to protect this trade by moving my stop loss above my entry, making this a zero risk trade. Really, really weak volume at this level. Not really what we want to see. So this is a little bit about my thought process also. I know I try not to look at this individual trade here in the context of anything that happened before. But sometimes, it is useful. Like I give myself like a mile marker. If the market hits 15,130, so if price pushes up to 15,130, I can break even for the day. Anything above 130 is profit. And then if it hits TP, I will make double what I risked earlier. You guys see where I'm going at? So I have these mile markers because sometimes it'll get to that 15,130 and you're like, oh, I'm just going to keep holding it. I mean, you have a choice to break even if you want. If that's like, you have to know your psychology. If having a losing day kind of like ruins your day, then you want to protect yourself from that as much as possible by breaking even if possible. Now, for most of us, we're risked appropriately. And so the loss is nothing. It's just all about the strategy. So you want to be able to take advantage of the strategy to its fullest by holding these trades to their full potential. I get this feeling it's waiting for me to move my stops to break even just for one more push before it goes. So I am going to leave it open until we break these highs, until we break this little like channel or range, whatever is happening here. Oh. Let's see what else. Bada boom. How about options? Yeah, no, I never thought about options. I used to be a financial advisor, never been a fan of options, not really my thing. 2,500 for a room. Okay, I'm going out there to see if I can establish a broker while attending the summit. 2,500 for a room for 2 people. There you go. Yeah, the VIP events are going to be crazy for this year's FX Summit. I'll tell you guys, meeting the guests, and it's going to be a more like intimate meeting experience with a lot of the guests, private mastermind workshops with some of the speakers. That I feel like is going to be the real treat. How long till you can do trading full time? It's not really a time thing. It's just more so about how much do you need to, everybody can take out a piece of paper and figure out how much do you need to quit your job or how much do you need to leave your work, whatever. And then just until you hit that number, you can't really leave, can you? Whether it be a hard number or just a number that you need to make a month to sustain your bills, what I would say is invest every dime that you make from trading into something that's going to pay off later and just live off of that investment at some point. All right, that's really how the game works. It's like you don't want to live off trading. You want to use trading to fund investments that then you can live off of. So I just moved my stop loss to break even because we did have a break of that high. All right, and now we're getting some of that volume that we were looking for. Okay, great entry, great execution. First one was obviously early. You guys know me, I'm not a big market open trader, but that's usually why I send the link out at 10 a.m. Probably should have done that today, but I'm not perfect. I'm close to it, not perfect. Plus, it was a long night. It just is what it is. Have you tried Top Tier Trader? No, real deal. And this is going to sound crazy. I have not yet. He says, every time I jump out SMH, definitely trading ain't for everyone. I mean, look, I told you it just takes patience. I'm literally doing it live in front of you. If you couldn't sit on your hands and just follow somebody that's been doing this longer, then, you have to figure out why. Like, why did you feel like why did you feel like that was the right decision? Was it over leverage? Because I guarantee if it was a micro lot size 0.01, you wouldn't have closed. So I guess it's a real question is why? Why did you jump out? Look, don't get me wrong. I don't trust it. All right. My stops are in break even. Oh, it froze. I don't trust it. So what I'm going to do is once this thing loads back up, I'm actually going to secure some partial profits. I love doing these polls. Put a 1 in the chat if I should close partials. Put a 2 in the chat if I should hold the full position. Keep in mind, holding the full position also means that it could hit break even and then continue up. Obviously, I'm going to make the choice myself because I ain't letting, I ain't putting my account at risk at the hands of strangers. However, I am interested to see what you guys would say. 1, close partials. 2, hold it. Max says hold. Mo says hold. See YouTube. Where is the FX Summit? It's in Dubai, brother. Or more than likely, it's going to be in Abu Dhabi. How much are you in profit? I think about $600 or something. Yeah, right at $600. All right, so I am going to close half. I'm going to wait for one more push up. Patience. Patience. See what YouTube said. YouTube said hold, hold, hold. Scott says take partials. Rich Overnight says take partials. Andrew says take partials. Ain't that the thing? Because whatever the minority does is usually the right way to go. It's like if 80% of the chat is saying hold it and 20% is saying close, I'm like, all right, so I guess I'm closing. I guess I'm closing the partials. But the Zoom is different because it's all killers in this chat. It's all killers in the chat. So I'll take the consensus. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, please drop a like. Maybe hit a subscribe, it wouldn't kill you. Just a click away to hit like and subscribe. My God. Yo, what, bro? It is too early for this. Man, what's up? What's up? What's up with people, man? What's up with people these days, man? Fellas, I just want to say, fucking stay focused. A lot of distractions out here. You got a main responsibility to take care of your family, take care of your fitness, take care of your finances, right? Take care of your fulfillment. These are the priorities. A lot of distractions out here. And the more you level up, the more money you have, the more opportunity you have, the more resources you have. It just gets harder and harder. The opportunities that you have to say no to, the things you have to say no to, the events, the people you got to stop hanging, it just gets harder and harder. And so I won't say harder, but it gets more challenging. And so you have to prepare yourself as you climb through the ranks of success and financial success that you're going to have opportunities. You just fuck off and let's go jet skiing. Let's go whatever. It's like, well, now money's not the option. It's not the barrier. Now it's about, I got to feel fulfilled. I got to do something useful for the world. I got to provide some sort of value. I got to provide some sort of, guidance and leadership. Might be fucking, how long can you sit on a beach and drink a margarita or something? So it gets harder to say no, but when you have a sense of purpose, when you know exactly what you're doing it for, it becomes a lot easier to navigate through. All right, so I'm going to book the partials. And this is the thing. The second I click this button to book the partials, I feel like we're going to have either a massive candle push up or a massive candle push down. And either way, I'm fine with that. So I'm going to close half. And what I'll do is I'll actually move my take profit to the highs, slightly higher than this, to the highs of the day, and just secure partials at these various levels instead. Talk about a wick entry. Talk about a wick entry. And now it's up to the market. So big thing that traders need to realize is that your job is done as soon as you enter, and then as soon as you have the trade management in check. The rest of it is up to the market, how fast it moves, how far it moves. If it comes back to retest one more time before it goes, all of that is possible, and all of that is in the hands of the market. All right, in case you guys hopped on a little bit late, October 1st to the 3rd, I will be teaching my NASDAQ day trading strategy. If you guys are interested, hit the link in the description below on YouTube. You guys can find out more information on our website about the NASDAQ Bootcamp. 3 days intensive. First day is fundamentals, second day is technicals, third day is psychology and risk strategies. Okay, we're going to teach you guys how the market moves, which data releases have the most impact and how to use those. Technical analysis, how to swing trade, and also how to day trade NAS 100. And then the psychology and risk strategies needed to be successful with NAS, because this is more important than these two. There's a lot of people that are watching every release from Apple and every release from Tesla and every release from Google, and they're microanalyzing, every corporate earnings report, still not making money. Technical analysis could be great. Somebody closed the trade early, didn't make money. Somebody else held the trade and made money. Psychology and risk strategies is important. I split up my risk. I put 0.5%, or I put half of my normal risk on the first trade. And then I re-entered at the bottom, so the risk and reward would balance itself out. These risk strategies will keep you out of trouble, even if you're in the wrong direction of the market. Even if you're on the wrong side of the market, find a way to get yourself back on ground base. Not through over leveraging, not through over trading or forcing trades, by being very calculated and by having a set system so that will end in profits. So if this runner, for example, continues to push up to 171, I'm going to make double what I risked this morning. And that I know that for a fact if it hits that level. So building a good risk strategy is important. And then the psychology. Like, Roy, close. Oh my God, you lost a trade. Everything is going to end. The whole world is going to end. No, the fuck it's not. And that's why psychology is so important. He said, trust your analysis and hold. Look, I trust my analysis, but you also have to look at the market conditions. If the market's showing you, hey, I'm extremely bearish and I'm going to be grabbing liquidity because all the early buyers are going to get clapped, which is us, we're the early buyers, may get clapped. I'm in break even, so I don't care. But if the market is setting up for buys tomorrow, it's basically just going to crush buyers out of their confidence. So it'll hit stop loss every level, this level, and then this level gets broken, and the next level gets broken, and the next level gets broken, and everybody's like, all right, I give up. It's called capitulation. When you finally give in to whatever the market is showing you, as soon as everybody becomes net sellers, that's where the market rebounds. So this is a possibility, and this could be setting up for tomorrow. Very, very likely. The trade I'm taking today is just, you got to push up. You got to push up and retest. All right, or even right here, back to 170. You got to push up and retest. If you want to keep dropping from here, perfect. Let me at least get that zone right there. How am I still on this stream with no caffeine, people? How is that even a thing? All right, if you're new to the channel, we also do amazing podcasts. Highly recommend you guys check those out. We just did a podcast with Anthony Pompliano. That's going to be dropping in the next few days. The recent podcast that we had with Bob Elliott, who was Ray Dalio's personal fund manager when he was at Bridgewater and Associates. Good friend of ours, Brent Johnson. Oh, this is all institutional insights. Where's the videos? Live streams. What? Okay. These are the podcasts. So I have one with my good friend Darren Creedy. Very valuable podcast. A lot of gems in here. These guys are all multi-million funded traders. They've been able to navigate their way through 5, 6 different prop firms. Some people can't even pass one challenge on one firm. This guy got 5, 6 firms running different account sizes. So a good friend of mine, Josh Barnes, we also went through a ton of details here. This one is not trading related at all, but this is Neil Alwani from Timepiece Trading. He sells watches to like Drake, 6ix9ine, like all these celebrities, Tory Lanez, freaking Steve will do it, just a lot of people. And so he's down here in Miami, linked up with him. We became good friends. He spoke at the summit about entrepreneurship. That's on the side. We have Bob Elliott right here, and we're going to be dropping a ton of new podcasts. Anthony Pompliano podcast is coming very soon. Make sure you guys check those out if you get the chance. Not if you get, when you get the chance. Everybody got time in the day. Why are you afraid to admit you trade ICT? Said, first off, I'm never going to listen to the word afraid from anybody with the name Blueberries 147. Don't ever talk to me about afraid, right? I fear danger. I fear God. That's it. Danger, meaning somebody better have a gun. There better be a mountain lion chasing me. That's about it. Fear has no other place in a conversation in my life, especially not from somebody named Blueberries 147. Look, I promised, I was on the phone with a friend this morning. I promised I wasn't going to wild out on the stream. And I had no caffeine today, so I wasn't going to wild out. But Blueberries, you're first on the chopping block. All right. Y'all want to give me this ammo, and I just, put me in this position. And oh, Roy's the bad guy. Roy's the bad guy. He kirked on his dude on the call. That's nuts. Can't afford the 3-day boot camp. Please pick me as a giveaway. Isolar, I'm going to tell you something that's not popular opinion. I'm not your fucking daddy. I'm not going to give you a free giveaway because you can't afford it. There's a lot of things in life that we can't afford. This is about the discipline and prioritization. How many jobs are you willing to get to make your dreams come true? I was out here busting tables. I lost all my money reselling shoes. right? I needed to fund accounts. How bad do you want it? Because when I was opening that restaurant 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, and I was there till 2 in the morning, nobody was giving me a handout. I was looking around, wow, I wish someone would fund me an account, right? No, I never fucking thought that. Not for 1 second. Personal responsibility. How much profit you made this year to date? To be honest, it's not been the best year for me trading. I've broken 6 figures, but I had massive goals for this year. And, you know, I just got to stay more consistent. I just got to stay consistent because I know I'm going to hit my goals, but I really wanted to get, you know, a 50K month. I want to get a 100K month. I want to do something miraculous. But when you try to force that outcome, you're going to end up making decisions that are suboptimal and end up hurting your trading account. And so instead, I'm just focusing on the process. I focus on my risk, focus on the process. And if I can do that long enough, I'm going to hit all my goals. All right, I'm going to wait to see if we break through that support. If we break through that support, no problems. But if we don't break through that support, I'm actually going to be inclined to re-enter the trade. My break even got hit and I did manage to make back a piece. So I lost 850 and I made back 330. So about 500. Okay, not bad at all. So 0.5% risk is 1,000. So about 0.25% risk for the day. Here's me. Looking to enter another 0.25%. $178. We had 20-point SL. So not the best trade because you guys can see this candle, this previous 15-minute candle did close below the previous one. The body of it closed below. So that's not the most convincing sign that buyers are going to step in. For me, we're at the most, like literally the most optimal spot, 20-point risk on this trade. If it hits, this thing is going to push up to the highs of the day. Like we have TPs that are 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and 1 to 4 away. Very, very tight risk. This is just like the best opportunity that I can find just from a risk and reward standpoint. But if we look at market structure itself, or still not market structure, we look at candle and candle action, not looking too hot for the buyer side. Like we need to see this current 15-minute candle form a higher floor, i.e. it has to close above the body of these candles. And ideally, I mean, if the market's generous, it just wants to flip. That'll make all of our lives easier. All right, so those are the 3 options, just so there's no confusion. If the market fills this wick, which is very possible here because of the momentum, if it fills that wick, it's gone. If it closes above the body of those candles, so even if it wicks, but it closes above the body of those candles, the trade is still valid. And then ideally, we just have a flip of the candle. And yeah. See how that goes. I'm willing to risk 0.5% for the day. Once I realized I was only at 0.25%, I was like, okay, I still have some room left. Technically, the second trade wasn't a loss because it hit break even. So I still have some ammo to go. Don't forget the circle jerks on the weekend for $100. Wait, what? What the fuck are you talking about? For the haters, go check the Sunday market outlook at 2908. Oh, yeah. We definitely, well, you kept the timestamp? That's crazy. That's when I reinstated the gulag. Okay, so market, clearly sellers are in control for the session. I'm going to let this one go. It is what it is. 2 losses in a row. So 600 plus 300, it's just those even themselves out. You got 300, probably 250. It's got about 1,000. So about 0.5% for the day. So 0.5% in losses, not the best. But what I want to do is save my ammo for tomorrow, because what I believe is happening is that the long positions are valid, but the market is just going to keep grabbing liquidity from everyone who's entering longs at these predictable places. This is typically what happens on news weeks. Consolidate, fake short, recover long. So tomorrow I'll be looking at that from the 15,000 key level. No more buys for today. No more buys for today. Sellers clearly in control. Gave it a few chances. Had some low volume, kind of looked promising, got a couple rejections. Really could have broke even on the day if I wanted to. The re-entry was a bit cheeky. Can we all agree? Re-entry, bit cheeky. Not as many confirmations, but that's why, what is it called? That's why risk management, highest priority when you're scalping. Because you're not going to have the highest win rate if you're taking multiple entries in a market open. And so you have to have the right risk management to make up for the difference. You said you had to work odd jobs to save money. Yo, you're crazy. You're crazy. Whatever your email is, tell me. I'm giving you, refunding your ticket for the FX Summit. Do not shake my hand with those kinds of jokes. You speak to your mother with that mouth? That's crazy. Sky Blue, I might make you a moderator just to send them to the gulags. Yeah, this one was a lot more predictable. Break, retest. Personally, I'd like to see one more retest of 1932, higher low, and that could be a good continuation. So 1932.1 or 1932.5, that whole area. Oh, US 30 is gone. Huh. Interesting. Too far. All right, y'all. You win some, you lose some. The market could recover. So I mean, like keep in mind, we could come back later and see this and be like, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. It is what it is. We got to make the choice to protect the account and to have proper risk management. I got to hop off here. I will be streaming tomorrow for the news. I know today's results weren't the best. Let's be completely real, but hopefully this was a masterclass in how to navigate your way around risk management, how to navigate your way around entries, so that even when you're wrong, it's like, okay, 0.25%, 0.5%, we're still in that range. It's another day. Let's get back tomorrow. And tomorrow, make 2, 3, 4 grand. Yeah, I think I'm going to be okay with losing $900. That's just how it goes. That's the name of the game, people. He says, my boy Blueberries. Josh, that's your man's. Josh, you need to go get your boy in check. Bryce, I'd probably 34,233. I was going to say, I'd probably wait for the news tomorrow. Yeah, 786 would be a good area right here. But it might go lower. Like ideally, if it just keeps crashing, everyone's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. And we have the 88.6 sitting right there, 34,180. Because everyone's going to be loading up buys right here. And the way it's looking, it's just like, yeah, if you're an early buyer, give me your money. That's the attitude the market has, which is perfectly fine. Ladies and gents, there's about 70-something people on YouTube. If you guys, before you hop off, hit a like just for your boy, right? I know I'm funny. I know what you guys are thinking, right? This is an incredibly entertaining stream. How are we doing something so technical? It's supposed to be so boring, but it's already been over an hour. And it's just that the time is flying. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed this stream, we're going to keep doing these. I know that the results weren't optimal, but tomorrow is a new day. I'll catch you guys later. Hit a like on your way out. Take it easy. Peace.